Oh, there we go. Hello and good morning. I apologize for that brief delay. Greetings and welcome. My name is Teresa and I am your host for Self-Love Sharing Saturdays. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you are all are well, staying healthy. I ask Creator to continue to protect you and your families in these challenging times. Please continue to keep your distance and wear your mask when you're out in the world. Protect your loved ones as well. Remember to drop a comment, let me know that you are tuned in, and feel free to ask questions and participate in today's platica. I do want to acknowledge Israel for tuning in this morning. Gracias. Blessings to you, hermano. Safe travels on your journeys. As always like to see um, where you're traveling to. And it just amazed me how quick you travel to places, to support community events, movements, and I think just in general, just caring for yourself and the trabajo that you do. I often get quite asked, what are some of the things that I do to give myself self-love? And one of the things that I wanted to put out there is that making sure that you drink plenty of water. I always have to remind myself to do that. It's just very important, especially, when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed, and throughout the day. And also a reminder to keep the little ones hydrated as well, the young ones, the teens, reminding them that water is very important and essential um, in this time. The other thing is just making sure that you are consuming and eating healthy things as much as possible, trying to stay away from processed foods, anything that's fresh, that you can actually take your time to make. It's always so quick for us to grab that and pick up that phone or drive through. So just make sure that you yourself are consuming good things, because when you do, it makes you feel good, when you eat something healthy. And sometimes eating healthy isn't the most tastiest things, but again, it is something that we should continue to do. And always it would be to take a moment to go outside, enjoy the elements. When the sun is out, go outside in the sun, go outside in the sun, be in the rain. The other thing would be is it's been really windy and stormy these past couple of weeks here in California, and I know that right now at the moment Texas is suffering. So I really want to send some prayers, and those of you that are tuning in, listening in, making sure that you do provide, excuse me, not provide, but put some prayers out for the gente that are out there in Texas and those that are suffering the storms. And I think this is kind of not so much a reality, but it really is a reality check in regards to making sure that you have the proper things in order to survive. When the power goes out, making sure that you have light to, that you're able to provide light inside your home, and finding ways to keep warm inside your home. And just as a reminder, that it's not healthy to keep your homes warm by using your vehicles due to the carbon monoxide. And so just a reminder, keeping the essentials as far as the food that you need to maintain in case power goes out, you're not able to have gas, any electricity, something that you're able to eat uh, in order to survive until you are able to have power restored and are able to have gas and electricity. So it's just having, I would say, some type of emergency preparedness kit, not only for yourself, but for your entire family. and also making sure that you have, batteries and snacks for the kids. Don't forget about the little ones. Plenty of water. We never know. Of course, the weather is always unpredictable. We do get told by the weather reporters that we do have storms coming. So it really is a time to prepare. We're in challenging times, whether we're in a pandemic, whether it's the weather. So just making sure that you continue to take the precautions to take care of yourself. The other thing that I like to do is, just wake up in the morning and be grateful, be appreciative and thankful for, waking up and being blessed with another day of life. And it's very important. We're humans, and it's just very important for us to thank ourselves for living through another day, thanking yourself if you've been caring for others, thanking yourself if you've been communicating with loved ones. And so it goes back to, having gratitude and being grateful for the things that you're doing, not only for yourself and for others. And it's just a reminder to remember that you need to focus on the self before you become of service to others. And so I think it's just very important that you do so. As I had mentioned before, and what we call earthing is making sure that you take a moment to be out in the elements, taking a walk, walking through the woods, walking through the beach. It can be just out anywhere in the open, as long as there's air you can breathe and there's sunlight shining on you. Sometimes we don't always get the sun to bless us, but um, the sun is a form of, a morning blessing when you see the sun. One of the things that I like to do when the sun rises, and this is kind of goes back when I'm preparing like um, healing water, or we would say holy water, is you would take a glass jar and you'd fill it up with water, um, and put a lid on it, take it outside, and it can be at night where you place it, and when the morning sun rises, that water is then being blessed um, by the natural sunlight. So it's a good way to just create um, things that you can utilize for your own healing purposes. The other things that I wanted to share, and I often quite get asked um, because I post, one of the things, that tools that I use when it comes to blessing my home, cleansing myself, cleansing my family, and those that invite me to, same thing, bless their home, come and bless their space themselves, is I use a samadot. So on my screen, I do have what is called a samador, and that is what I use to burn my incense. And so what I burn is called copal. And so copal is a tree sap, and it gets harvested and gets and makes it my way all the way from Mexico. And it is used uh, for ceremonial purposes in the Aztec dancing tradition. And the other thing is that I use it when I bless my home. I like to wake up in the morning, light my samador, and it just starts my day off with a light, clean, cleansing feeling, which is just great to have that vibe early in the morning. And you can, those of you that are interested in getting some copal, so then you can cleanse your space, you can actually pick it up online via my Etsy shop. And I also have what is called a popushkomi. This is my samador. I have a few of them available. So I quite often get asked, what is it that I can do within my home to cleanse myself or cleanse my space? And one of the things, as I had mentioned, is like I said, I burn copal. The way you would burn copal is you actually need coals, and they actually sometimes they come in a little aluminum packet, or they'll come in a plastic wrap. It just takes one coal. You would open up the little packet, and there is a coal that's inside. You would take the little coal and place it inside your samador, or your fire receptacle. People call them copaleros, poposhkomis. So there's different things. So you would take your coal and before you set it in there, you would actually take a match or a lighter. I like to light it with matches just because it just feels more earthy. And then you light it. As you start to see it spark, then you would wait for the coal to turn a little bit like red and amber. And you would take a piece of the copal, it can be like starting like with the rice size, and then you place it on top, and it would start to um, create an essence. And the way I like to cleanse my home is starting, at the front of the house and kind of work my way and just moving the samador. And with your thoughts and your prayers and intentions, what it is that you want to do and what it is you want the medicine to do, you would then cleanse your space. I would recommend opening, windows and doors. That way, things can be cleared out. Be careful with the fire alarms because you can set them off. The other thing is, it's not only copal that you can burn. You could burn cedar. You can burn sage with it. Take little pieces off and place it inside your copalero. And so these are some of the things that you can use when it comes to healing and cleansing yourself, cleansing your home, which I always call your home your sacred space, because there's a lot of things. I mean, it's your temple, it's your sacred space. That's where, you eat, that's where you sleep, that's where, you just live life in general. And so one of the important things that I wanted to also share is that making sure that you do take the time to, cleanse your space, meaning, right now, and for myself, I'm experiencing some of these things, is that things often get left alone, and it takes you a while to kind of get motivated to do the daily things that you should be doing at home. And there is been some type of shift that either happened where like the motivation is just not there. How do I get motivated to do things? And one of the recommendations that I would that I can suggest is start with a list of 5 things that you know that you want to get done. Or the other thing would be is kind of accountability, and find somebody that does the same things as you do, so then you can communicate with each other and kind of hold each other accountable in regards to doing things. And so one of the things that I had been wanting to do is, to craft things a little bit more. And so um, myself and amongst another colleague of mine, we had told ourselves that we were going to hold each other accountable, so we could either I'm not live stream, do like a video chat and be like, okay, let's start working on something. So it would be, just making sure that you're holding yourself accountable, and, having that communication. Sometimes it might be you could put on either on YouTube or a podcast that will provide you with, some type of positive affirmations and self-talks. That's the other thing that you also wanted to do, is write some affirmations for yourself where, I can do this, I am strong, I am powerful. It would always, most often would start with I am beautiful. Um, I am resilient. I am courageous. Um, And I think one of the things that more often than not is reminding yourself that you are a beautiful person, you're a beautiful human being, and you can overcome anything. So just know that you're not alone. There are people that are struggling with what we currently call it, or it's being labeled as, um, pandemic fatigue, where you kind of get stuck in your homes, and it feels like your energy is kind of stagnant, and you don't have the motivation to kind of do things, and it's like, oh well, I'll do that later, or I'll put that aside. So one of the things that I wanted to suggest is, start small. Create a list of what is the first thing that you want to do. And you can make this list at night, so then when you wake up in the morning, it's a list that, okay, these are the things that I need to get done. And you don't have to get through all of those things that are on there, but you can at least hold yourself accountable that you are taking the initiative to create something that you will work for you. The other thing is, I would recommend, take a walk outside, and, think about the things that you need to do or want to accomplish. Sometimes it's the daily things of, they're just daily life things, washing the dishes, cleaning your kitchen, folding laundry, cleaning cars, taking care of kids. And so sometimes we just get caught up in the daily life to where you're like, okay, that can wait. But, eventually I'll get to it. So it's just taking, you know, the day and, steps at a time. But I think one of the things that is most important is making a list. It can be, start with one thing. You created your list, and these are the things that I want to get done today. But sometimes you'll have your days where, you at times you don't feel like doing anything, and that's okay too. There's times where you don't have to be so attentive to the things that are going on in your home. um, and so it's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with not picking up a kid's toy, or not folding and making your bed. um, and there's nothing wrong with that. You create, and you can make your own energy, um, and the way you want the energy to flow within your home. And just know that the things that you're feeling, as far as like motivation, if you're not feeling, sometimes, like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it, and it's okay to feel like that. um, but there's times where people ask, how do I get motivated? What are some of the things that I need to do to get motivated to do things? And it's, people are kind of in that point where we're supposed to be in our homes, and that's the safest place, and it kind of gets mundane. And so taking a look at where your surroundings, where are places that you can go within your home that you can create a small sacred space. It can be in your room, it can be in your living room. um, Excuse me. It can be outside. If you have a little place where you can create, and it can be as, a chair, something you can put your feet on. Fine. And the other thing would be is, grab your favorite, beverage. If you're into reading, grab your favorite book. And if you're not into reading, find something that you can focus your mind on, in regards to, what is it, what is something that I can read that is going to give me, that is going to be positive. We're so used to um, you know picking up our phones and scrolling, and most often than not, and it just depends on what pages you follow. And I think that's one of the important things is making sure that you are following, this is I think more specific for like Instagram, making sure that you're following pages that are inspirational to you and not, things that, you're following people and they're, um, it's just not positive content. And so it's just making sure that you do follow. You can wake up, as soon as you open your Instagram and it's something positive, it's something that you can read and either you can share it or you internalize it. And how is it that can use this positive information? Same thing on Facebook. You can just, you get to create who is on your social media. If you want to not see negative things happen or see negative things on your as you're scrolling, I mean, the news, we don't have any control. So I, for myself, people are like, I don't have a news app, and maybe that's something that I tend to kind of shut out. And every once in a while, I would say I don't look at the news daily because it's something that I don't want to be sucked up in. And I have to create kind of a barrier between what's happening on the outside and what is it that I want to happen within myself. And so I think it's just very important to know that you have the power to filter who you see, and put yourself in situations where you do want to be and you don't want to be. And so I think it's just very important that it's up to you to determine how your day is going to start. And it's very important to think positive. If there's something negative that you're thinking about, try to find ways to either find something that will change your thought. Sometimes we do get um, caught up within our own mind, and it just is constantly racing, 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 and we're thinking about anything and everything. But you have to remember, you only have to worry about the things that you can control. If it's something that either someone came to you and they brought the situation, they brought their problems, just know that it is not your job to solve other people's problems. It is your job to provide them guidance. It is, can be your, it's not so much a job, but it would be, you can provide them guidance, you can provide them advice, but just know that it's not your responsibility to take on other people's problems. And it's as hard as it is to say no. Sometimes it's, you know what, no, I can't do that right now. Or you know what, let's sit down and think about the things that we can do in order to help you in your situation. Or if I was in your situation, this is what I would recommend and this is what I can suggest. And sometimes it's just a matter of listening. People really are kind of, I would say, at the moment, struggling in how they are going to react with things that are happening around them. And sometimes it's just a matter of them sitting down and talking to you, and they just need somebody to listen. I think it's very important. That's another key thing, especially those that, have significant others, is taking the time to, as when they're talking, listening to them and hearing them out. And sometimes instead of being quick to make a comment or to say, something negative, or it would be just listen. And, when they're done talking, you let them know, okay, this is what I can recommend. This is what I can suggest. And so it's just very important, for us to think about the things that we are consuming on a daily. And it starts with turning on your TV. It starts with looking at social media, and how is it that I want my day to kind of pan out. And for myself, I follow a lot of, inspirational, positive affirmation pages, and, taking the time to read, something positive. There's It might not be everything is that you read will stick, but there's some things that will resonate, and you're like, you know what, that was good, or I have to use that, or I'm going to share that with somebody. So, and that's the other thing is, sharing positivity with others is most important. It's kind of like, I hope you have a good day, and how is it that we can do something together that will be positive. So I think it's just important in regards to caring and loving for one another. It's very important, especially during these times. You know, checking in on your gente, your loved ones, sending them a quick message, picking up the phone, and just, hey, how are you doing? How is your day? And it can be as little as, you know what, I just called to say hi and see how you're doing. And the conversation can last a long time, or the conversation, will be very brief. And sometimes people want to talk, and times people don't want to talk. I find it that it's, especially during the times that we're in right now, of course, we've been told, to stay distant and, stay within your homes. So the other way that you can communicate with people is either FaceTime, either Duo or Zoom. And so, we have to find ways where we can continue to communicate with one another, and, share love and be positive. And so I kind of just wanted to put it out there in regards to, what are some of the things that you guys are doing to stay positive? And I know it's kind of a difficult question for some, but what is it? What are some of the things for you to stay positive? And I think it really just depends um, on your own, like the type of person that you are, and the influences that you have um, within yourself. So, what are the outside influences? What are some of the things that um, help you start your day like in a positive way? And I think it really starts with, most importantly is, the amount of sleep that you're getting. And sleep is so important. And if you are, struggling and trying to get, fall asleep or stay asleep, I can, suggest that probably drinking some teas at night. I think that's very important to find things that will help you, calm and relax yourself. Um, some people like to have, a glass of wine or something to drink before they go to bed. Kind of, it winds down and relaxes them. Um, and others, it might be, you take a shower, you take a bath before you go to bed. um, there's, herbal medicines, that you can drink, you can ingest, you can smoke. So it just depends on what are some of the things that that make your body feel good, that will help you be relaxed, so then you can get that good sleep. The other thing would be is you find some time in the day to exercise, whether it's taking a walk or taking a run, doing some weightlifting. So then, um, you get your body endorphins running, but at the same time, when it's time for you to relax, your body has endured some type of strenuous activity where you can relax. Those of you, that aren't able to exercise for whatever health reasons, or whatever the situation is, it can be as easy as sitting in your chair and, making, doing arm circles, or, lifting one leg and, kind of alternating. So there's things that people can do, that, have limited, physical capabilities, to do so. But I think it's very important for us to think about, what are some of the things that I need to do to make my day positive. for me to have a positive, productive day. And I think it really stems with the way that you think. Um, and know that the things that you think within your mind, it's something that you can control. It's important to know that um, you can control when you move your arms, you can control when you move your legs, you can control when you move your head. So you can control the things that you think. And just know that that is very important that you do that. And so I just wanted to tune in this morning to kind of let just everyone know that you're not alone out there. And the things that you are thinking, the things that you are feeling, um, isn't the only thing that you're not the only person to experience it. We are humans. We react to things that we see. We react to things that we hear. Um, and it's really how you internalize things that are happening out of your control and you're in the outside realm, what I would call, and figuring out what is your own reality. And the reality is that you create your own reality. And if there is something in someone else's reality that does not, that you don't agree with or you disagree with, then let them live in their own reality. But you can control what happens, what you see, what you think, what you eat, what you speak. And so just know that you have the control and the power to do so. And one of the other things that I also wanted to share, most importantly, is taking the time to, internalize, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Because often, more times than not, is people get stuck with, holding their breath. And although our body is made to help us, it's automatic um, where we breathe. Sometimes we have to help our body where we take a deep breath and think about the things that are bothering you and expelling them and releasing them in the breath. And you can feel your body be tense when you first start to the point where when you exhale and you breathe, your body is so relaxed that, you just kind of want to stay in that moment. And it's okay that you do that. So it's just important to think about the things that you can do to control to make yourself feel good. If you're having those days, and I think one of the things that that's important to do is that you need to surround yourself with people who love and encourage you. Let them remind you just how amazing you are. And I think that's just beautiful in regards to it is very important, who it is that you surround yourself with. You need positive influences in your life. And if you're around people who are constantly bringing problems um, to your home, to your space, via text, via phone, um, are they showing you love? Are they encouraging you? Or it might be that they're coming to you because that's what you can give. You give love and courage. But at the same time, as a reminder, remember to love yourself. And I think that's most, excuse me, that's most important. And these are just reminders. I've said these before, but I think it's always good to, positive affirmations and reminders are important. Sometimes we kind of forget the things that we seen or we read yesterday or last week. And so these are just the positive reminders that I wanted to share. And so be mindful of what you think, feel, and want. You are the controller of your own mind, body. And so live your life in the way that you live your life in ways that truly reflect this. So once again, the things you think, the things you feel, the things you want. It's really up to you to determine what it is that you want to kind of feel for the day. And again, it's okay to tell people no. It's okay to say, you know what, right now that's, I can't help you with that, or, and at this time, I just can't. And so sometimes it's, you know what, no, it's not going to work for me, or, no, I can't do that because I have X, Y, and Z. And sometimes it's just, no, I can't. And it's okay to tell people no. There's nothing wrong with that. And it's hard. It's so hard to tell people no, but it kind of goes back to, what are some of the things that you want to take on? What are the things that are happening in your life at that time when people ask you for things? Um, but sometimes that's just the way that we are. Some humans are very loving and very caring, and when somebody asks for help, it's like, you know what, yeah, I can help you, and it feels good to help. So know that it's okay to say yes, but know that it's okay to say no too. But most importantly, we're humans, be humble, be kind, be loving, um, and just encourage one another, be positive. And it's it's taken the time to think about, what are some of the things that I can do in my day that will make me feel good. So then when I see somebody else, they see your energy is good, and, you're having a good day, and, people feed off of other people's energy. So I think it's just very important. So I just wanted to just remind everyone that, again, you're not alone. I do want to say that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Those of you that are listening, I do ask Creator to get to hear your prayers. I ask Creator to give anyone and everyone, listening, love and light and strength during these times. It is very important to love one another, and if there's anyone that is would like to just have a conversation, and want to share, you can go ahead and do so. And um, that's what I'm here for. Sometimes I will have somebody come and join me. Other times it will just be myself, and it's just me coming and communicating. Usually um, it would be that I'm out in the community when, it was, of course, the norm to be out in the community and, bring my smoke and bring my blessings and bring my prayers, and people would come to me, and that's just the service that I provide. And so, we are in challenging times right now, and so this is my way of sharing with anyone and everyone out in the community some of the medicine that I'm still continuing to hold, and I'm still, thinking about people, and, lighting my smoke and sending prayers, and just trying to stay as positive as possible in my own sacred space, within my home, with my little ones, with my significant other here. And I think it's just so important that we continue to, share and love one another. Um, you're welcome, Israel. Thank you for tuning in as always. And, I did get a chance to see that you had lit you were burning some sage and some copal in your copalero. Um, and so continue to do that, continue to bless your homes, bless your space. It is very important to do so. Those of you that are trying to or would like to know how is it that I can utilize some of the medicine, um, like the copal, the cedar, the sage, the palo santo. How is it that you can get that medicine is in my link that's scrolling across. You can go ahead and follow me either on Linktree. I am on Instagram, on Facebook. Um, you can send me a message here, and I can either send you the link But it's just things. These are some of the things that I do at home as far as cleansing my space, and how do I make my home feel lighter, cleanser, cleaner. And it starts with, the medicine that's just provided to us by Mother Earth. And you can burn other medicine to cleanse your space, but I think it's just most important that you can there are things that you can use for yourself, you can use for your family, you can use for your home. Some people may be sensitive to the smoke, and it can be the other way of cleansing yourself would be is waking up and taking a shower, using the water to kind of internalize and kind of cleanse yourself, and rid of things that that no longer serve you, even in as simple as taking a shower. It can be just brushing yourself, if there's something that's bothering you, kind of internalize it and grab it and fling it off you and brush it off. And sometimes it feels good because it might just be like an energy that you have kind of like lingering around you, and you can kind of touch it to where it's kind of like, oh, you know what, let's not think about that, or let's get rid of it. um, so these are just some of the things that I wanted to share. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Please continue to follow me. You can catch me every Saturday at 6 a.m. I think it's just a good way to start a Saturday morning where you wake up to positive vibes and um, a good message. And so once again, I hope that all of you have a blessed rest of the weekend, the rest of the week, and los vemos hasta la próxima semana. Um, at some point, I will have a session where it will be in Spanish, so I apologize for those that usually would tune in. Um, that way I can kind of um, speak to gente, people that are that speak Spanish and want to hear this message as well. So with that being said, love and light to all of you. May you all have a blessed day, and gracias. Have a blessed Saturday and every day from Israel. Gracias, Israel. And yes, most importantly, love one another. Um, Stay positive, give yourself love, share love, and don't forget to smile.